People who accidentally discovered a loophole in school rules and abused it until administration stepped in. What was it? I was a freshman when I accidentally discovered the loophole that basically turned me into the Pablo Escobar of my school cafeteria. Our school had these laminated early lunch release passes for kids who had medical conditions, right? Well, one day I got sent to the nurse with a migraine, and she gave me one of those passes just so I could get food sooner. She never asked for it back. Now here's the thing. The passes weren't scanned, barcoded, or even logged. They were literally just brightly colored pieces of laminated cardstock, and every Monday they changed the color. So the next week, out of sheer curiosity, I held the old pass under a hot lamp and peeled the plastic apart. Then I just slid in a piece of paper I printed at home in the new color. Boom. Unlimited early lunch release. At first, I just used it for myself because the lunch line was hellish 45 minutes long. Sweaty, loud, and full of dudes screaming about Fortnite kills like war veterans. But then one day a senior saw me walk past the line like Moses parting the Red Sea and asked if he could buy my pass for the day. I sold it for $10 word spread. Soon, I was printing weekly batches of fake passes in every color variation possible. I became the human Amazon Prime for students desperate to skip the line. I had athletes, theater kids, robotics nerds, even a teacher begged me for a copy. The peak was when someone paid me $50 just to get out early on Chicken Nugget Day. It took the school 2 months to figure out what was happening. They had a full-on meeting, confiscated every single pass on campus, and replaced the system with barcoded IDs. They even mentioned in the assembly, "We are addressing the ongoing issue of counterfeit lunch passes." And everyone turned to stare at me, because apparently subtlety is dead. I didn't get caught though. My empire simply dissolved. But for 2 glorious months, I was the lunch lord. So my high school used this ancient attendance software that let teachers mark kids present, tardy, or absent manually. One day, my chemistry teacher accidentally left her laptop open during a lab, logged into the attendance page. I went up to ask her a question, saw the screen, and noticed something weird. The attendance system didn't auto-refresh when class periods changed. Meaning, if she forgot to log out at the end of the day, the page stayed active. Meaning, anyone who clicked the drop-down menu could technically mark themselves present for any class of the day. I don't know what demon possessed me, but I accidentally bumped her desk. Her mouse slid, and suddenly, the drop-down menu opened. And I saw all the class periods. I ran home after school and could barely sleep because my brain kept replaying the loophole. Next day, during advisory, she left the room briefly. I hopped on the laptop, scrolled through, and clicked present for every period I planned to skip. Boom! Perfect attendance. I became a ghost. I didn't exist in the hallways unless I wanted to. I'd go to the library, the gym, sometimes even walk home early. Then other kids noticed that I never seemed to get punished for skipping. Slowly, people paid me to mark them present too. It became this underground attendance laundering service. I'd click the drop-down, choose their name, and clean their record. Administration only shut it down when a kid who hadn't been in school for 3 weeks due to a broken leg mysteriously had full attendance. They called it a data integrity breach. But honestly, those 3 months of freedom tasted better than anything in adult life. Our school had a very strict dress code. Especially for girls, no shorts above mid-thigh, no leggings unless your shirt covered your butt, no tank tops, no crop tops, etc. Total nonsense. But there was one line in the handbook nobody paid attention to. Exceptions apply for clothing considered part of recognized club uniforms. Sounds harmless. Right, wrong. My best friend was in the school's ultimate frisbee club. Their uniform was literally a t-shirt and athletic shorts. I offhandedly joked. "So technically, you can wear that any day, right?" He shrugged and said, "Yeah, says so in the rules." My galaxy brain activated, I marched down to the club sign-up table, joined for free, and asked the club president to print me a letter stating that shorts were part of our uniform. They did. Suddenly, I could wear whatever shorts I wanted, then other girls noticed. They all joined the Ultimate Frisbee Club within a month. 65% of the girls at school were team members. Then some boys realized they could bypass the no tank top rule by joining track and field, so they did that too. Then someone figured out that drama club costumes technically counted, and people started showing up dressed like pirates, zombies, Roman soldiers, and one kid came dressed as a giant banana because comedy club attire. It became a full-on circus. Teachers were begging administration to fix it. The school finally stepped in and abolished every uniform exception rule. They even banned costumes unless for an approved performance, which they said in an assembly with dead eyes because someone had come dressed as a medieval plague doctor the day before. The Ultimate Frisbee Club never recovered. At my school, you needed a hall pass to go anywhere, but due to overcrowding, the admin introduced flexible movement cards, basically laminated bookmarks teachers could give you so you could leave class for bathroom breaks without disrupting lessons. The catch: the cards weren't tied to a student's name, just a color. Each academic department had different colored cards: English, blue math, yellow science, green, etc. One day I realized, if you found a card on the floor, no one knew who it belonged to. I found a blue one, then a green one. Then I asked a janitor if I could take the ones left in Lost and Found. He said yes. Soon, I had every color. This meant I could walk into any hallway, flash the right color, and teachers assumed I was allowed to be there. I perfected the art of walking confidently, like I had somewhere important to be. I started skipping classes entirely by just walking out. Teachers would nod at me like I had official business. Kids eventually learned I had all access passes and would ask me to escort them to hallways they weren't supposed to be in. It became a whole smuggling operation. The loophole only closed when admin installed scanners and tied bathroom breaks to digital logs. The principal literally held up a handful of the colored cards in an assembly and said, "We have discovered students duplicating or stealing movement cards." And everyone slowly turned their heads to look at me. I still maintain I ran that school more efficiently than the administration ever did. We had this prepaid lunch account system, right? Your parents loaded money onto your student ID and you scanned it at the register. Simple enough, except one day the machine glitched and charged me negative $4.50, essentially paying me. The cashier laughed and said, "Free lunch today, I guess." But when I checked my account online that night, I noticed the system didn't correct the negative balance. It simply left it there. No flag, no warning. Next day, I bought lunch again. Negative $900, still nothing. Next day, negative $1350. I was basically digging into a glitch-created overdraft that had no limit. So I kept going. And then my friends noticed. Suddenly, everyone was intentionally triggering the glitch. You just had to press scan twice and the system freaked out. Kids who normally brought sad PB&Js were suddenly eating pizza, nachos, smoothies, extras, snacks, even ice cream cups. Morale skyrocketed. The cafeteria felt like a festival. Then one kid, who I will call the Annihilator, decided to see how deep the rabbit hole went. He scanned his ID 21 times in a row. His account balance hit negative $9,450. That's when the district finance office finally noticed an emergency meeting happened. Lunch accounts were frozen. Then parents got emails saying things like, "Your student's account is currently at 6375. Please deposit funds immediately." The chaos that followed was biblical. Parents stormed the school. Admin blamed IT. IT blamed admin. Lunch ladies blamed everyone. They fixed the glitch in 2 days, but for one glorious week, we lived like cafeteria royalty. Okay, so buckle up because this is easily the greatest, dumbest, most beautifully accidental loophole I ever found in school. And yes, I abused it until the administration basically formed a congressional committee over it. So my high school had this rule: if a parent emails the front office requesting an early dismissal, the student can leave with no questions asked. Pretty standard stuff, right? Except someone on the admin end didn't think it through. They never verified the email, like at all. No callback, no ID check, no nothing. Just parent says you can leave, go home, sweet child. This was sophomore year and I was done with school. My math teacher had the personality of a soggy cracker. My social studies teacher smelled like boiled eggs and despair, and lunch was a full contact sport. So one day I wanted to go home early because I had forgotten my AirPods and decided this was grounds for emotional collapse. I half-jokingly typed up an email from a brand new Gmail account named something like mom's last name first initial 123@gmail.com and wrote, "Hello, please dismiss my son Tyler at 11:15 today for a family appointment, thank you." I hit send. I walked to the office at 11:15. The secretary looked at her screen, said, "Yup, you're good," printed the slip, and off I went. Now, to be clear, I did not expect this to work. I thought maybe they'd call home, realize my mom was at work and had no idea what was happening, and I'd get my ass handed to me. But nope. Smooth as melted butter. So obviously I did it again the next week. Then twice the week after. Then my best friend asked if fake mom could dismiss him too, which fake mom did cheerfully. Within a month, I had created an entire email network of fake parents, fake mom, fake dad, fake aunt, fake grandma, named Doris because of course, and every one of them was very concerned about family appointments. I swear to God. Half the school was suddenly having family appointments every Thursday. There were days when I dismissed 5 people at once. We'd just walk out together like we were a cult. At some point, fake Grandma Doris wrote, "Please dismiss my grandson Tyler at 12:45. He has an urgent casserole-related family obligation." And they still approved it. Now the reason this went to hell is because we got cocky. We got greedy. We flew too close to the sun, like the dumb teenage Icaruses we were. One of the guys I dismissed, let's call him Connor, decided to test the limits of the loophole. He emailed the office pretending to be his dad and wrote, "Please dismiss my son for the rest of the month. He is experiencing a spiritual crisis." And the office flagged it. Not because of the spiritual crisis part, but because he said month. Apparently, month was too big of a number for their brains to process. So the principal called Connor's actual dad. Dad had no idea what was happening. Dad snitched immediately. Dad also apparently hates loopholes and fun. The principal, who honestly had the emotional range of a tired rotisserie chicken, called a full investigation. They traced the fake emails. They discovered the army of fake relatives. They found fake Grandma Doris and printed her emails out. There is something deeply humiliating about sitting in the principal's office while he reads aloud, "Please excuse my grandson from algebra today. He must assist me in the preparation of church pies." I tried to keep a straight face. I failed. They didn't suspend me mostly because technically I didn't break any official rule. There was nothing in the handbook about creating fictional elderly relatives to excuse yourself from school, but they did rewrite the entire early dismissal policy. Now parents had to call from a verified number show ID if picking up and re-register every year. Meanwhile, I got a stern, "We're watching you" warning, and the secretary gave me the side eye for months. But here's the best part. A week after the crackdown, as I walked through the office, the secretary whispered, "You're creative, I'll give you that." Doris made me laugh. And honestly, that's better than any award I could have won in high school. So back in sophomore year, our school switched to a new digital attendance system that was supposed to make things more efficient. Spoiler, it did the exact opposite. Basically, the new system marked students as present the moment they logged into the school Wi-Fi during the morning homeroom period. No check-in with a teacher, no scanning ID, just connect to the Wi-Fi. And boom, marked present. I discovered this by accident one morning when I walked into school late as hell. Sprinting across the parking lot while still half asleep, I connected to the Wi-Fi from outside the building just so my Spotify wouldn't chew through data. And when I finally dragged myself inside my homeroom, teacher said, "Oh, you were already marked present." I froze like I was light bulb, like full cartoon light bulb. I tested it the next day, stayed in my car, connected to the school Wi-Fi, waited, checked the attendance portal, marked present. I felt like I just discovered fire. Naturally, I told my best friend, who told one other friend, who told one more friend, and that friend was a fucking megaphone disguised as a person. In 2 weeks, half the sophomore class was attending homeroom from Carr's McDonald's someone's basement, and one kid who proudly took attendance while on the toilet at home. The administration started getting suspicious when the hallways were empty until like 830, and teachers reported entire rows of empty desks while the system claimed 100% attendance. Then a kid took it too far and connected from an entirely different town while driving to his orthodontist appointment. He bragged about it on Snapchat. This kid had negative IQ energy, and someone snitched. The next morning, Wi-Fi got a new password. Attendance reverted back to teacher check-ins, and the principal made a 12-minute angry announcement that was basically him trying not to say, "We got outsmarted by children," but the legend lived on. For 2 magical weeks, we were gods. At my high school, you could leave any class by just filling out a slip saying you were going to the library for research. It didn't require a teacher signature, didn't require confirmation, didn't require anything except your name and the time you left. It was supposed to be an honor system, and if high schoolers are good at anything, it is violently abusing honor systems. I discovered the flaw because my history teacher gave us this huge project, and I wanted to go to the library to work on it. I asked him to sign the pass. He said, "You don't need me, just drop it at the library." I was like, "Are you sure?" He waved me off. Boom, loophole unlocked. I literally left class, dropped the slip in the library box, and no one asked anything. No one supervised anything. The librarian didn't even look up. So the next day I tried something. I filled out a slip, but instead of going to the library, I went to the cafeteria for second breakfast. No one stopped me. Then third day, I filled a slip. Went outside and sat behind the gym. No one stopped me. Fourth day, slip. Went home early. No one stopped me. I told one friend. Who told one friend? Who told a horde of chaotic little goblins? Within a month, the library sign-in box had like 200 slips every morning, and maybe 4 actual students inside teachers were starting to notice entire classes evaporating mid-lesson like a mass rapture event. Administration finally snapped when a fire drill happened and half the school was unaccounted for because they were in the library, but physically nowhere. We legit had a near-emergency response because they thought students were missing. Next day, library slip system removed. No one leaves class without a teacher signature. Librarian now scans student IDs at the door like TSA. My history teacher never forgave me. I don't think he ever figured out it was my fault, but he knew it was someone's fault. So in my sophomore year, my school introduced this new and improved bathroom pass system that was supposed to stop kids from skipping class. Each student got 3 bathroom passes per quarter, printed on the ugliest neon orange paper I've ever seen. The idea was, use them wisely because once you used all 3, you were done unless you had a doctor's note. Well, I found the loophole by total accident. One day before lunch, I asked my algebra teacher if I could use the bathroom. She said yes, circled the date on my orange pass, and told me to hurry back. The pass was supposed to be collected after use, but she forgot to take it from me. I didn't realize until later when I pulled it out of my pocket. Now here's the fun part. The passes were only used once they were in the teacher's possession, and there was no system to record which teacher had taken which pass. So technically, if they didn't collect it, it was still valid. My goblin brain activated. Over the next 2 weeks, I figured out which teachers were forgetful. Algebra lady, the shop teacher, the French sub who was always 18 seconds away from a nervous breakdown, then rotated them strategically. I basically became a bathroom cryptid 5, 6 trips a day. Sometimes I just wandered the halls, sat in the nurse's office pretending to wait for a friend, or hung out near the vending machines. My friends started calling me the Phantom because I was never in class. Teachers were confused but powerless. You already used your bathroom pass. No, Miss Carter forgot to take it yesterday. I did not, did I? Guess it still counts then, right? Shrug. They couldn't prove anything because I always had the pass physically on me. By week 5, half the school had caught on. Most teachers forgot consistently, so suddenly there were herds of students roaming the hallways with the same bright orange slips. Administration cracked down hard new rule. The moment a pass was circled, it had to be hole punched. The hole puncher stayed on their desk. No punch, ain't invalid. 3 punches, no more passes. The great bathroom freedom era died overnight. And yes, I was named in the announcement. Not by name, but by vibe. Certain students have been misusing restroom privileges in ways that undermine the educational environment. My legacy lives on. Our school bathrooms had a rule. If the door was propped open, teachers assumed it was being cleaned and wouldn't go inside. One day, a student discovered that the door stayed open on its own if you wedged an eraser under it. He did it as a joke so he and his friends could blast music and talk during class without being bothered. But it spiraled. Oh God, it spiraled. Kids started bringing speakers, LED lights, and snacks. Someone brought a mini projector. It became a full-blown bathroom hangout spot. You could skip half the school day, and administration literally wouldn't enter because bathroom closed for maintenance. I walked in one day thinking it would be like 2 kids chilling. No, there were 15 people. They were sitting on sinks. Someone was DJing off their phone. A kid was vaping inside a toilet stall decorated with glow sticks. At one point, someone started calling it the Porcelain Lounge. Someone else called it the Stall Society. A group of sophomores legit held weekly meetings. This went on for almost a month. It ended when a school board member visited the building, saw the bathroom closed, and told a janitor to open it. I still think about the janitor who opened that door. He did not deserve what he saw. We never saw him again. He retired. Now bathrooms have cameras outside, a bathroom monitor, and doors that cannot prop open at all.